Hey everybody, and welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, and no, this is not Hank Longo. It happens to be the very lovely Jessica Roberts. You see her on the art shows. She's the art guru of Polk County. She's actually sitting on a pillow. I didn't shrink, so how you doing, Jessica? It's great to have you here.
Good, thanks. I'm tall. I'm the same height I've been since high school. So
the same height as me, but why are you sitting taller
There's no pillow. No.
Oh, really? You haven't changed much since high school, huh?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
You bet.
This segment is brought to us by Holiday Inn North Lakeland. So we're very happy to have them as sponsors.
Oh, they're great folks up there, and they got some good conference facilities up there. Of course, a lot of the Detroit Tiger fans stay up there. It's a good place to be.
Nice
Just like Polk County. Wow, it didn't get much busier than any other place in the state. Polk County was the busiest amateur sports destination in the state of Florida during the month of March and April. What I want to say a zoo, but circus maybe?
It was a circus because it was controlled.
Phenomenal. You couldn't even find rooms in Polk County. And then Sun and Fun a couple of weeks ago. That was an unbelievable turnout. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. Before we do that, though, we have to introduce a very, very special guest. And the World Tri-Athalon organization actually runs and oversees the IRONMAN series. Of course, it's the premier triathlon on the planet. Last year, right here in Polk County, you love them, you hate them, doesn't really make much difference, but Lance Armstrong won the inaugural Ironman 70.3 right in Haines City on Lake Eva. But before I get into all of that stuff, we're going to introduce Liz Kollar. Liz,
hi.
great to have you. Wow.
Great to be here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to have you. A former Southern California girl, and made good and made her way all the way over to the wonderful state of Florida. And welcome.
I'm loving it a lot. Thank you very much. It's fun to be here.
Well, you're sort of the director of of communication and athlete development for World Triathlon, and also sort of run the club challenge and that type of thing. It's something new this year.
Yeah, I actually wear quite a few hats with Ironman, but one of the hats that I wear is this Tri-Club program. I know that if any of your residents here in Polk County have seen people out riding their bikes in preparation for the event next month, they're all wearing the same outfits. And you say, why are they all dressed alike? Well, there's this large community of athletes in this country that are members of Tri-Clubs or teams. In fact, it's growing by leaps and bounds every single year. And they give a tremendous amount to the sport of triathlon. They are really responsible for bringing people up through the ranks and getting them to the level where they can compete at our races. And so, as a special thank you to those groups of people, we've created a new program for them. And interestingly, the event in Haines City is actually a regional championship for the Tri-Clubs. So there will be a lot of clubs descending upon Haines City in a month.
Well, that's kind of an interesting proposition. In the event itself, last year we were amazed. I mean, just absolutely amazed at the amount of people that came from overseas. I talked with an attorney from Denmark, people from Sweden, Germany, England, and all over the continental United States, and Hawaii. Was just unbelievable. Can we expect the same thing this year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is most certainly an international event. I know just by looking at the athlete rosters, we're expecting about 1,800 people that will be racing on Sunday, May 18th. 18th, 19th? I should know the right date. 18th. And we have folks, we have a team actually coming from Costa Rica, but we have folks from Denmark and Great Britain and Canada, and of course, many, many folks from the state of Florida. So it's going to be a really exciting day.
Good stuff. Well, you're like a big shot, runner and swimmer and cyclist.
I can run and I can swim, but I don't ride. But as a spectator, this is such a huge event because Lake Eva is different. In the history of me following cycling, you can stand in one spot. So is that a good selling point for people who are coming just to watch the event? I know there's going to be pros there. Yeah. Hoping Amanda Stevens is there. But
who's Amanda Stevens?
She was a pro. She competed last year.
Yeah.
She was here in Haines City.
Real? true?
Yes.
Really?
I follow her on Twitter.
You're kind of a tweet. She's one of your tweeples?
Yes, she
Okay.
is.
You tweet your tweeples.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I got you. I hear
We
you.
don't have the finalized lineup for the pros yet, so we'll keep you posted though when we know.
But is that a good selling point? Does that make Haines City unique, our course?
You know what? The neat thing about Haines City is how family friendly it is. You know, there are we have races all over the world, and what athletes look for when they're trying to decide would be a great place to go race is how comfortable their family members are going to be while they're out there doing the event, because it can be an incredibly long day for a spectator.
Yeah.
Because you see your athlete go in the water, and then an hour later they come out of the water, and then they're gone for hours and hours and hours, and you see them for 30 seconds, and they're gone and gone and gone for hours and hours. So it can be a really long day being a spectator. But what's neat about the Lake Eva venue is that, particularly with the run course, is that the run course is a 3-loop run course. So you can stand on the fitness trail, which is very close to the finish line, and you can see your athlete go into the water, come out of the water, get out on their bikes, come back in on their bikes, and do 3 leaps on the run course before they head to the finish line. So it's a really great venue. And then there are all those wonderful recreational opportunities at the park.
Yes.
So when your athlete is out on the bike for 3 hours, the kids can go play in the aquatic center, and it's a really neat place. We're excited to have our race there this year.
Well, that downtown Haines City is a gas too. I mean, they have a new Mexican restaurant down there I just absolutely love. I had the opportunity to go to lunch there with the city manager, Ken Sauer, not too long ago, and man, I'm going to be back here. This is great, and like you said, the water park. They have a water park for kids, and just the ambiance, the whole environment of Lake Eva is beautiful.
Right, right.
It's a fantastic venue. We were talking about kids a little bit earlier, and there's a special program that you have that is so unique in the world of sports. It's called IRON Kids. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's really exciting. It's an opportunity to encourage kids to get off the couch and start doing more active things. And IRON Kids has many different aspects to it. We have a national running series where they're essentially fun runs where the kids go out and they'll do a 1-mile fun run before many of our events. The event that is taking place at Lake Eva on Saturday is actually an IRON Kids Triathlon. And
how long is that, by the way?
Well, it's set at age-appropriate distances. So we have athletes from age 6 all the way up to age 15. So depending on how old they are, it sort of determines how far they're actually going to go. But they'll start with a swim in a 25-yard pool, so it's very safe and controlled.
And those are for the young kids.
And that's for all the kids. We'll start in the pool.
Okay.
And then they'll come out of the pool. They'll jump on their bikes. They'll do a loop around the downtown. Hopefully not stop at the Mexican restaurant. We'll continue to keep on going, and then come back down to Lake Eva and run through the park. And it is the cutest thing. Next to seeing your kids show up at a piano recital, watching an IRON Kids race is one of the cutest things ever.
My favorite part of last year were the little Huffy bikes.
Yes.
We're so used to the tri-bikes and all of this money poured in for the adults, and then you've got these young elementary school kids with their little Huffies, and we've all had those as kids, so it was a great way to identify, and you just cheer every one of them on.
Yeah, it's really great, because I think especially for this community, if you have a kid that knows how to swim and rides their bike, they should come out and do the IRON Kids race and become an IRON Kid, because it is really a neat thing. I mean,
how do they do it? I mean, do you have a website that they can go to register?
We have. They can go to ironkids.com, all one word, and they can go on there and they can see the distances for each of the ages, and they can actually go on and register online there as well, or they can come to our really amazing expo that we're having all weekend long.
May 17th, which is a Friday.
Yeah, Friday, and they can register on site. They can come and talk to me if they're at all nervous about the event. I can kind of talk them through the different levels, and they can register with us there, and then the gun goes off for the kids at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, and it's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's going to be something else. One of the things I want to touch on, and a lot of people don't know this about World Triathlon and what the Ironman does, it's more than just holding the world's premier races. You guys give back to the community. I mean, almost $15,000 to charities that come out and volunteer.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
It's pretty incredible. What we have as part of the Ironman community is something called the IRONMAN Foundation, and it's a nonprofit organization, and its sole responsibility is to collect funds from athletes who either wish to raise money for a charity of their choice and use the foundation as a platform to do that, or if they actually want to come in as a community fund athlete, in which case part of their entry fee actually goes back to the community. So, for example, in Haines City, we have a $15,000 grant that will go back to volunteer organizations and who come in and help us with our race. Those funds will be allocated out to those folks, and it's just our way of giving a little bit back to the communities that give us so much by hosting our events.
So if a church group or a high school civics group wanted to come out, they could go hand out water.
Absolutely.
And they can earn money for their chapter.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a way of incentivizing them to come out and be part of our event.
Sure beats washing cars, doesn't
yeah.
it? You know?
That's true. And and it really is fun to be out there. The athletes are so grateful for the volunteer support that they have, that it's one of those jobs where you leave with a smile on your face because you've made a difference in an athlete's day. So
that's
a great opportunity.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the race. And really, Jessica should be asking this question because she's more into those quiet sports than I am. But it's a 70.3, and break that down for us. And if you're an athlete going out there, on average, you're going to swim, you're going to run, you're going to cycle.
How long will it take?
Yeah. I mean,
how long will it take for you to do that? Well, in Ironman, we actually have two distances. We have our full distance Ironman, which is the really iconic race that you were referring to in Hawaii, where they go for hours and hours and hours. It's 140.6 miles, right? The 70.3 is essentially half of that distance. So our athletes will get in the water and they will swim in incidentally one of the most unique swim courses in our circuit. It's an M-shape swim course in Lake Eva. They'll go 1.2 miles. And that will take most of them anywhere between a half an hour to 45 minutes. Then they'll jump on the bike and they will ride 56 miles through a really pretty bike course on the rural roads of Polk County, which it's pretty neat. I actually drove the bike course the other day and I thought it was really cool. And it's going to be challenging because it'll be windy and hilly. So that'll take them about 3 hours probably, maybe a little bit longer. And then they come back and then they do this really great 4-loop run course that takes them through the park. 3-loop, run course takes them through the park 3 times. And it's terrific because you get all this spectator motivation and then you get to cross the finish line and you are an Ironman. Sort of, half of an Ironman when you cross the finish line.
And how many actually roll? How many actually roll over that? Is there a percentage, or is there
the foundation of that is actually in honor of John Blaze, who had ALS, who completed the Hawaii Ironman, and I can't think of the year that he did it in. But to symbolize what he was looking towards as part of his life, when he came to the finish line, he rolled across the finish line. He's since passed, and folks that are part of that organization and are raising money for the Blaze Foundation show their support by stopping at the finish line and rolling across.
And that is on YouTube. That's a great story. I have watched the entire thing.
One thing before we let you go, we've got a couple seconds left.
Sure.
People want more information about either going to the expo on Friday, but the expo runs the 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yep.
They want to participate, or they want to just go down and have a good time and observe one of the premier races in the world.
Yep, absolutely.
How do they do that?
The best place to get information is to go to our website, which is ironman.com. And then once you get to the website, you can look under the events and under 70.3, it's a couple of steps, and then go to the Ironman 70.3 Florida tab, and all the information is there. So we're looking forward to having a lot of folks come out and support our athletes and
it's going to be a good
enjoy
time,
the day.
isn't it?
Yep, it sure will. It sure will. Thank you.
Liz, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We obviously you're a bundle of energy, as one of our directors told me earlier. So we'll see you out there, and best of luck with running, again, one of the world's premier races right here in Polk County.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.